I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. The January 6th committee, are they helping or are they hurting? Well, honestly, I don't know. What they have shown us, though, is that the last president was an inept, lying hump who gave a damn about nothing but himself and holding on to power, even if he had to kill the vice president to do so. So, of course, that guy is still free and running for president again. This man, the current attorney general, and Merrick Droopy Dog Garland, as I call him, I don't think arresting the current president is a good thing, but we will prosecute anyone who broke the law. Maybe. Merrick Garland has said they will follow the facts and no one is above the law. But after watching the January 6th committee's first blockbuster season, Merrick had to get off his ass and get busy. In fact, Andrew Weissman, who, by the way, worked for Robert Mueller during the fifth, whatever Trump investigation we're on now. Weissman expressed serious doubts about whether the DOJ is doing what it should be doing and pursuing a robust investigation into the facts. Weissman, again, helped with the Mueller investigation. That did nothing after a robust investigation into the facts. So, where are we in what we know about January 6th? Well, we know that once the insurrection started, Trump was in his private dining room eating hamburgers and looking at shoeless pictures of Ivanka.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
In the 3 hours, the treasonous insurrection by the stupid raged on. And Trump made 0 phone calls, wouldn't even let pictures get taken, and had 0 meetings, which means this 0 wanted the coup to succeed. He did not protect the American people or American democracy. He tried to drown it like a puppy in a sack. We also know that Mike Pence's Secret Service detail called their families because they thought they were going to be killed. You know, like any normal tourist day. What I find insane is there's still a question about arresting this arrogant orange loser. This bulbous, illiterate Putin licker is still holding rallies, still saying the election was stolen when every Republican who testified said the election was free and fair. There was no fraud. But the hearings, however, have been radically unbalanced and unfair because there has only been Republican witnesses. And all of them have said that flat out, this burnt umber dimwit, this brainless evil narcissist tried to end democracy and become a mushroom-crotched dictator. If we don't arrest and prosecute someone who fomented and committed a terrorist act in the nation's capital, then we might as well lock up the country, turn out the lights, hand the keys over, and move on to the fascist dictatorship we seem to be cruising toward. Because I'll tell you what. If you or I tried to overthrow the government by breaking into the Capitol with this gang of bulletproof vests wearing dangerously high cholesterol having sit-up avoiders, we would be in jail or we'd be hung. And honestly, for these guys, I'm cool with either. Get on it, Garland. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Oh, Merrick Garland. Get it up. Come on, for God's sakes. Have a Red Bull, Merrick. Hey, everybody. Christopher Titus Podcast, and the Armageddon Update. Hope you enjoyed it. With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray and Groucho.
What's up, people?
And the Hylinder.
There can be only one. I don't have one over here.
That was very nice. There can be only one. There's only one Groucho. So we are now at the end of season 1 or the mid-season of the January 6th hearings.
The finale. When's the finale?
I
can't wait.
It seems like all the streaming shows have now done these things where they like do 8 episodes and you're like, oh my God. And then they go, the next episode in a month and a half. And then that's what they did at January 6th.
And it's a 4-hour finale.
Yeah. Is there like a Netflix executive running things? He's like, no, can't do the whole thing. Let's get him up to Trump not doing nothing and for 3 hours and then we'll stop, give him a break, and then we'll come back in September.
Then it's like, are you still watching?
Yeah.
Would you like to sign?
No, I forget. I forget what shows I was watching now. Do you know what I mean? Like when they do the split season.
Right.
And
yeah.
then,
We have to go back and watch.
There's so many different platforms that I don't remember. You know, there's a couple that are hard to forget.
Right.
Like Stranger Things.
Uh-huh.
Stranger Things was weird. It went away 6 or 7 episodes.
Yeah.
And then it came back a month and a half later with 2 episodes. But one of the episodes was the length of a movie.
Yeah.
Remember that? It was very confusing.
You know what it was to me? It was like there was some internal like study they did that found out that people only watch for 8 episodes. A friend of mine who works in television said that, and I'm like, well, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
They just went all data.
I would just keep watching. If you just keep good episodes coming, I'm gonna just keep watching.
You mean all the 3 seasons before did great, and they were all released
on the same day.
Yeah.
I like Better Call Saul, that one, but they did the same thing to us.
Wait, you're watching things like
shows, TV shows.
Yeah,
content?
we do that.
TV shows.
They're called content. Start calling them content now. They're not called TV shows anymore. They're called we're watching content.
They're condensed
You're consuming
movies,
content.
which is what my pitch last week was. If you could just take a movie and put a montage and condense it, that's what a
So we got to
TV
shorten
show
the
is.
movies.
Yeah.
We got to shorten the movies. What's an epic? All right. Empire of the Sun. Empire of the Sun.
I don't even know what that is.
English kid gets captured by the Japanese, stays in a prison camp. We split for it. We do a prison camp montage with what's his face?
Robert De Niro.
No, the guy who was
Christian Bale.
No, he played the
Schindler's List is a movie that could have benefited from
No,
a
you
montage.
could not with Schindler. No, Schindler's List could not. What's the montage of Schindler's List?
I think you know.
Guy, no.
12 Years a Slave, too. Really brutal. Really brutal.
So you're just taking movies that you don't like and montaging
No, I
the
don't
hard
like
parts.
all movies, but I'm saying the ones that are especially tough to watch.
Hateful Eight could have used a montage.
I've already said that. That's my
Oh, these are all
platform.
movies that have
That's
to
my
do with like
stance.
math and time spans.
Not Chris-
8, 12,
who's
a
the-
list.
Who's the actor I'm
good
thinking
point.
of? He was in Rounders. He played the Russian. Bruce
Oh,
Willis.
John Malkovich.
John Malkovich. So it's
See?
basically
Knew a movie trivia
kid
answer.
gets caught by John Malkovich, stays in a prison camp. That's boom montage. Kid befriends Japanese soldier. Movie, and then the war's over. And then nuclear bomb goes off. Half an hour show.
See, now you're on board. Now you guys are getting it.
So it's TV shows you're into, but not
You'd
movies.
be an amazing executive. Everybody who had it as an executive for a movie company.
TV shows I'm into, except for I felt tricked by Stranger Things when they brought us back. They did a movie length episode. Remember, it just went on and on and on. I think it was 90 minutes or
It was almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was 2:01 almost. Just
whatever.
Why
You just
did-
made
why did
that
you-
up
why did
like
you
you
feel-
100%
you
just
feel-
pulled a number out of your ass to sound
did you-
knowledgeable.
Yeah, 2:11. Why did you?
I know you don't know.
Why I do know.
You don't know.
Well, yeah, sir, I do. I looked at the thing as I was falling asleep.
Yeah, you did fall asleep during that one. That's a good
It did
point.
go on for a minute. I thought it did go on for a minute. That one. Stranger Things I liked. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it as always. All the kids have all mutated, except for the one kid, the main kid. The other kid grew like 3 feet and his hair got really long. And I don't know. It's weird to watch. Whenever you do a series with kids,
Yeah.
they mutate. At one
Yeah,
point, you
quickly.
lose the series. Yeah.
Well, no, because in real life, people age, right? So we're growing up with them. Some of them went off to college or they're going off to college. I got
But at that age-
no beef with that.
They go from kids to like, just gangly adults.
Well, yeah,
in
that
a
is
year.
true. It is like overnight. That's a good point.
Except for the kid with the hat. You're right. He
The
just
one
stayed.
kid with the hat stayed. He just kind of got he got like 20% bigger all the way around. Exactly.
Yeah.
He didn't grow. The other one kid shot up, and the kid with the hat.
They just gave him a new hat.
Yeah,
And that's it.
Look,
he's older, new hat.
On Photoshop, they went increased by 20%, and he is exactly his head's everything's proportioned exactly how he was
Just
as a
stretch
child.
the film a little bit.
Do you watch TV shows? Are you watching anything?
Sometimes. When
Sorry,
I
content.
can.
What are you
I'm
watching?
consuming content.
What are you consuming?
I watched Stranger Things.
Okay.
That was good.
All of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's-
With Wyatt?
Yeah, it's usually stuff with Wyatt.
Ben Kenobi.
Yep.
Obi-Wan.
Watched
We
the Disney
that.
Plus
That was-
stuff.
That was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Whatever
That was
that
good.
was.
Disney
Yep.
Plus, though, is now not letting the Democrats run ads that talk about the conservative abortion, saying they've actually said today that they're not going to allow any political ads on from the Democrats. On Hulu or
Only
Disney.
or any political ads?
From what I gather, it was just the Democrats. The Democrats are pissed off.
Does from what I gather mean I'm not sure? I didn't check that.
From what I gather, Stranger Things was 2 hours and 11 minutes.
That's what I thought.
From what I gathered.
The evidence you gathered is
From what I gathered. That's my new thing. From what I gathered.
Which means
Which means I did absolutely no hunting and or gathering. I did nothing. I just didn't even look it up.
You know a show you'll love, I think, because it's quick. It's
Okay.
it's on Netflix. It's called Love, Death, and Robots and Love or something like that. It's like 10-minute.
I'm
I
already
gather
out.
that he
Snippets.
doesn't know the title.
I'm already from
That's
what I
the title.
gather.
Love and Robots and Love.
Hulu not running political ads on main
Period.
issues
At all. On main issues, what does that mean?
Oh, right.
abortion. They're rejecting advertising spots on abortion and guns.
So the two things that actually are making people go, yeah, I don't fucking think we should all have guns. Kids are getting killed, and women should have the rights to their own body. They're not doing it. Makes me want to actually not.
Well, it was Democratic groups that were trying to run the ads,
Right.
Exactly.
Because I'm assuming on those things, Republicans just want to stay quiet. From what I gather, they just want to be quiet.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah, just keep it rolling. Just
Nothing
because
to
they're
see
going to
here.
lose some
Nothing to see here.
voters, especially women, from that. So yeah, Democrats are mad, but
This
it
is all
doesn't
Gavin
say they-
Newsom.
If the Republicans
My ads.
could make women give birth to guns, they would be the happiest people
Oh,
in
yeah.
the world.
Kids
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
out strapped already.
It's already just like
It's like
That's
that's utopia for Republicans.
So January 6th committee, they the whole big thing of the last one was they were talking about how Trump for 3 hours did absolutely nothing while cops were being killed, which is amazing to me because we knew it. We all knew it. We all, none of the January 6th stuff is surprising.
Well, cops weren't specifically being killed. Actually, it was one of his people that was killed during that time, Ashley Babbitt.
Cops were being beaten.
Yes.
And two cops died, and then other cops killed themselves after. So I don't know. Why would those cops kill themselves? Were they part
One
of it?
cop died, right? Sicknick. Officer
Sicknick,
Sicknick.
and then another cop had another cop. So there was another guy who died like 2 days later, right?
From what I gather.
I thought there was 3 police officers killed, and then
Yeah,
Ashley
but
Babbitt was coming to the window. You come to the window of my house, I'm shooting you. If I say I have a gun on you, don't come in the window, I'm shooting you in the face. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then I'll be the hero of the NRA, which would be ironic.
Crack said you were, so
Let's see, because I know
Yeah, I
that
know, right?
weird.
there were also people that went, right? There was a guy that had a heart attack.
Yep.
That was originally reported that he tased himself in his balls, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But I don't.
In protest, was this on purpose?
No, I think it was. I think
Did he fall
bored.
on it?
He was bored waiting for the protests.
I
It's like,
see.
and what happens if I do this? The
Two
jackass guys have
heart
made millions
attacks.
doing this. How do we? I'm
Did
gonna
he
tase
live
my
stream it?
bars.
2 heart attacks, Trump supporters.
Right.
Kevin Greason and Benjamin Phillips both died of cardiovascular disease, manner of death deemed natural.
I actually just did this in the Armageddon. I said these bad cholesterol having sit-up avoiders. That's what I called them in the Armageddon update. And you just backed up the Armageddon update. Thank you.
Yeah, they both had heart issues. There was an accidental overdose the day after the riot. Roseanne Boyland, 34 years old, of Kennesaw, Georgia. That explains a lot. I went to high school near there.
Right.
Suffered what they called a medical emergency. It was later reported that she had an accidental. So Trump people came out and said that she was trampled to death by Antifa. A month later, the medical examiner's office reached its conclusion that she had died accidentally of acute amphetamine intoxication.
Antifa gave her amphetamines.
Antifa OD'd her on amphetamines.
She was an avid QAnon and Trump supporter.
Of
course.
Ashley Babbitt was shot. So those are those people. There was Officer Brian Sicknick,
right.
who it's the dumbest thing because they put natural causes,
But he got hit in the head with a fire.
but also in the notes of so right wing seized on that. All those right wing groups seized on that and said, "Oh well, he died of natural causes." Well, in the report, it does say due to events on that day that he was involved in played a major factor in his death. Obviously, he ended up dying of a stroke. Technically,
stress. Yeah,
he was injured while physically engaging.
Well, the weird
with
part is that
protesters.
what we're talking about right now is like you're going through. No, it wasn't that many people dead. Okay, all right. So then now we have the number right.
I'm trying to find out who died.
They were attacked. The video that they showed on the hearing. I was like, Like you see these cops, I got, because when they showed the camera from the other side where the people were coming at you, it was a little different than being behind it with the video we saw from phones. And I thought, oh, fuck, these guys. And when you see the sea of people, you're like, oh, shit, these guys. And no one was calling in any backup. They asked for backup repeatedly. Yeah. No one called him. And you know who called him backup finally? Pence. Pence called him backup. He said, get him here now. Trump would not do it. 3 hours. Dude sat in his dining room eating hamburgers.
Dancing.
You know, like, yeah, he was. Yeah, he.
Oh my gosh, I hate that dance.
Gonna be an insurrection.
And then
we love you.
So it was just Officer Sicknick that died after he was sprayed with that bear spray.
Right.
He suffered a stroke initially, then and then another one later, and then 4 police officer suicides. I didn't realize it was 4.
Wow, what's that about? Why?
The first guy had been a Capitol police officer for 15 years. Took his life 3 days after the riots.
Any reason? Did anybody say anything about that?
This guy, that was Howard Liebengood. Then there was Jeffrey Smith. Smith's wife told the Washington Post that her husband related to her the fear and panic he experienced that day and that he was afraid he might die. She says that he had PTSD. He was
so
struck on the helmet by a metal pole thrown by rioters.
He was so afraid he's going to die that he killed himself?
I think the Secret Service.
It's the secret. No, it's actually the secret. Have you guys?
He just said it out loud. I'm afraid of dying. Hey, dude, shut up.
Don't put it out there.
Yeah, you got to watch that movie before you talk shit. And then 2 other officers. I didn't realize that 4 people had killed themselves after.
And no reasons? Like, well,
so none of that is natural causes.
But I remember when this happened, I kept thinking, because it's horrible that these guys killed themselves, first of all, but it's such a weird moment in history. I don't understand what would put you over the edge of it if you survived it. If anything, you'd want. I guess maybe you just were like, this is how it's going to be. My own country's going to attack me.
I don't know, because
I mean, I feel. I mean, for the families, I feel horrible.
If let's say Pence had been killed, right?
Oh my God!
I get that, but
and Pelosi,
but they ended up winning. They got it under control. It wasn't ideal and people did die. It was, but they quelled the riot.
Right.
So I'm not sure what that was that they were living with that made them do that. I don't know.
Well, I wonder if they were the cops, because remember there was, and people keep saying it was a normal tour state, and what they keep using to back that up is there was some cops in the rotunda that were like, right this way, gentlemen, right this way. That statue's this. And they were talking to them. They weren't fighting them. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. There was
what about the broken glass and the people
climbing through the
windows?
Well, that was another part of it, but there were some cops that were like, totally, come on in. They were there, and so I wonder if those were those guys.
I don't know. We shouldn't speculate. But
it's a podcast. That's what
I don't know what.
From what I gather,
push somebody over the edge. I mean, I guess if you're already on the edge and then some kind of traumatic
cops
event.
got a tough gig.
I don't know. I just don't love speculating about people's suicide. That's all.
The cops have a tough
speaking
gig.
of suicide,
a lot of
Christopher
cops.
Titus
killed the other night.
Edinburgh Comedy Festival.
I'll be doing
so will I.
I'm not sure. Not sure what to do on the. I'm going to be
He's
on
got
the
a
best
whole
of
bit
fest.
about suicide.
I was going to do it.
In his new show. I watched him do it Saturday. I sat with my friend Shauna. I got to be part of the audience, which was interesting, like actually in the audience.
Yeah, you sat in the back of the room. Yeah.
So I probably have monkeypox now, but
pretty sure you do.
Yeah. But during the suicide bit, I was sitting next to these 2 guys, and one of the guys, they were both hysterical, but the one guy could not, he was crying. He was laughing so hysterically during that bit.
This was during Sadley's and my sister, right?
Yeah. The suicide bit.
The suicide bit is a bit that I go to. I don't know. It's like, honestly, the jokes I pull off, I think as a comedian, it's like pulling a triple backflip.
Yeah.
Because I land it. And people are like, they're like,
through a needle. You landed it through that little tiny pool. Then you jump off.
I was just at the dermatologist who knew my mom and knew her very well, and his name's Eric, and I was talking to him, and everybody was like excited. I can't believe you guys are going to Scotland for a whole month and you're going to be living somewhere else. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm not doing the show that you saw before. I'm not doing Alpha Chick. I'm doing the new show all about mom. I said, I wrote a show about mom, tell about her diagnosis with cancer from beginning until she dies. And he goes very quiet for a second. And he goes, that doesn't sound like comedy. And I was like, come on. It's hilarious.
but that's what great comedy is. Great comedy is taking something that is not on its face, funny, but I think the human experience is so absurd. Like the stuff that you pull off is crazy. I watched her. She walked on stage. We both picked. We went because the shows we're doing in Scotland. It's a smaller room than we're usually playing. So we went and did the Yoo-Hoo room at Flappers, which is a smaller room, and it wasn't big audiences. And the reason we did it was specifically because when you're in a big room, you can be like ba da 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 da. If you're playing a giant show, you can just but if you're not playing a giant show, you have to bring it down. And so we just kind of both talked about just tell the stories, tell the real stories with the jokes, and it really changed. Do you know it changed my show on Sunday? Did you see my show on Sunday?
Oh, your energy changes. Sometimes it's a harder show to do.
It was. I was.
You have to connect gears. With the people that are right there, and
you're
like 10 of them.
Looking at people in their eyes, each person.
I was actually grinding gears. Let me say, on Saturday I was grinding gears. I was like, da 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 da, and then quiet. I'm like, downshifting it,
find it, damn it.
I know, find some sort of connection. And then I did it on a Sunday. I had a bigger audience, but I still had the intimacy of the smaller audience, and it worked great. It was killer. I was Oxnard. It's a good show. Can I point out? All right. All right. Wait. I want you guys to know how good this comedian is sitting next to me. So we go to Oxnard, and Oxnard's one of the improvs that, for whatever reason, is not doing as well as the other ones. It's a great club.
That's what the manager said. This club isn't doing as well as all the other improvs.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's a beautiful club. It really is.
It's a newer one of their big palatial kind of.
If it's newer, then that's...
But the location... No, it's not new anymore. It's no longer new.
Got it.
But they put a lot of money into that.
For whatever reason, it's not whether it's the audience, the demographic, whatever it is.
Location?
So we did good numbers. It was fine. It was fine for Sunday night.
Yes.
So she gets on stage on Sunday night, and she's got her new show, and she's got this new material she wrote is killer. And, she's also warming the show up, which is impossible. The warm-up comedian has the worst job, period. And that's forever. They always have the worst job. So she gets on stage, and for 5 minutes, they're like, ha, ha, and she stopped. And this one, she's such a pro. She stops, berates them. They start laughing for being stupid. Then she goes on again. They come up to another level. Then she stops and berates them again for being lame. They come up to another level. She did it like 3 times, and about maybe, I don't know, a third of the way through her set, they were rocking. I'm like, how the hell did you do that?
I was sweating.
You were mad though when you got off stage.
Oh, I hated him. I was like,
oh, it was real. I thought you were using it as a.
Oh no, no, they made me work.
Get them off their ass.
Yeah, but the difference between that and not that, if you just walk on stage and they love you, it doesn't make you a better comedian. You really showed me what a bad motherfucker you are.
I think it would be fine if they would just love me. I think I'd prefer that. I was like,
right,
wow.
But in the face of that, it didn't go badly. It went great. You just dug it out. You just brought in a backhoe and filled the hole they had dug, and you was perfect. It was great. Mm-hmm. All right, so you guys aren't helping me at all with this January 6th thing.
What do you want?
I want to find out exactly, did they find out anything about Trump at all? Because he was obviously on a burner phone. The weirdest thing about it...
He's on a burner phone. He's on his cell phone, right?
But here's the weirdest thing about it, though. They could actually call it... So
he scrubbed the records.
Yes, there is absolutely zero White House records from 1 o'clock to like 4:30.
Yeah.
There's like
no shit.
There's no pictures.
And
he didn't let the photographer come in to take pictures.
There are actually laws regarding that.
Yes.
Archiving the president's movements, photographing. He put the White House photographer out. Yeah. Wouldn't let her in.
No.
Maybe he was recording his speech. But that took like 9 hours for him to change what he was going to say.
He sat there eating chips and watching television.
Yeah. Maybe nothing really did happen.
But
he just was cheering himself.
But here's the thing about being a president. So your job is to protect the people of the country. But he tried to overthrow the government. And he sat there and he just watched the television and watched it unfold like we were watching it at home. Mm-hmm. Didn't call the National Guard.
We saw Ashley Babbitt come out bloody on a stretcher. Yep. I said, oh my gosh, somebody's dead.
Yeah, somebody got shot. Yep, I remember this.
Because you could tell that the person was dead. They were not doing life-saving techniques, and the body was not moving.
And they weren't rushing. They weren't really hauling ass. There wasn't a guy running the stretcher. It was like
they dropped her a few times.
It doesn't matter.
It's crazy that like when we were watching it, we were panicked.
I couldn't
It
believe
was
it.
surreal.
Still can't believe it.
And then the body came out, and to think that the president of the United States, whose only job is to protect the people and the Constitution of the
Yep.
United States, was watching the same thing and doing nothing.
Sitting on his ass in his dining
And the
room.
only proof you need, everybody's like, rewrites Trump history and stuff, is he never called anyone.
Yeah.
Pence is the one that ultimately called twice to get the National Guard there to deploy them. He never did at all.
And you're right. Now that we know all this stuff, what's now what? Why hasn't he been arrested
That
yet?
and can you
what's taking
He's
so
imagine-
still
long?
doing rallies. That's what
Can
I'm
you imagine any other president?
No.
You look back at
Of
all
course
these moments in history when horror happened. 9/11, W was on the television reassuring people that we were going to come out of this and come out of it
standing
together.
on the rubble with a thing saying, guys, we're going to get the people that did
But
this. And-
Trump never spoke.
No.
It's insane to me that those people can still support
he
him.
said, I love you very much.
Given those facts. I mean,
very
separate from
special.
that stupid video that he recorded.
And you went down to the Capitol.
Not only that, take it back to that. The president of the United States of America lost the election and then told a crowd of people to march on the Capitol
gonna
in
be
his
wild.
name. You can't do that.
No.
That's not. It's he's
No, he actually called for a treasonous insurrection of the country. He called for it. And then so did Mo
even
Brooks.
if people are like, it wasn't a treat. I'm just saying, without using any hyperbole, or
It's not
I'm
hyperbole.
saying that it is really out of the ordinary for a president to lose an election and A, not concede, it's never happened, and then B, tell the people that are mad about it to go march on the Capitol. That's it's crazy.
Out of the ordinary? It seems that's a little mild.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm just saying without using any hyperbole, which triggers people. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
a riot. It's not an insurrection. Oh, okay. But he
tell you what, the
still
video-
hasn't conceded.
But you do know the video shows it's a riot. It's I mean, we were seeing guys swinging poles and banging people in the heads.
We're past that.
No, I know,
I'm
but-
just saying at a really basic minimum level
Right.
that these facts that are indisputable, because we can watch them on video for these right-wing people that are still supporting him, they're you can't dispute those facts.
Right.
The problem is nobody at this point is shocked at any of this.
No.
Like it's been since
No.
he fucking was running. He's
But
been
that's
a piece
the-
of shit the whole time. Maybe that's
Yeah, he
part of the
never was
problem.
not a piece of
He
shit.
was never not a
Even
piece of shit.
before.
Before he was
Yes.
elected, yeah. I
This is
remember
just the
remember-
culmination.
Do you remember the debates?
Yeah.
He's like Marco's got a little dick. What?
Right.
Like, do you remember when he was
I
really?
remember
he was doing,
when
I grabbed
he,
pussy.
when he
What?
was going to run before the 4 years before.
Yeah.
And he came out and said something like, we'll bomb the motherfuckers.
Yeah,
that was going to be his Middle Eastern plan.
What kind of shit is this with the Saudi taking over? Why don't we just bomb them? We'll bomb the motherfuckers
bomb the
and
fuck
take their
out of him
oil.
or something like that. And he was laughed out
Yep.
of that primary so badly that he withdrew, and that was it. He went away. It was so embarrassing. And something over the next 4 years, I guess, having a black president
That's it.
just
No, it was
turned people so hard.
everybody said I guess he's a guy. I mean, a guy like me in a sense that if something tells you can't, I'm like, okay, watch. When Obama did the correspondence dinner,
Yeah.
and thrashed him. It was oh God, it was so good. And they kept cutting to Trump, who
He
was
was
sitting
mad.
there, and he was just pissed. He just was fucking angry.
Yeah.
Though. Didn't laugh, didn't smile, which made me hate him because I'm like, dude, even if you hate the jokes,
Yeah.
show you're a fucking grown ass man.
Pretend.
Oh, but he's
and
not,
laugh.
though. But it's just he's not.
I know, but that's the weird part. Is so it was weird. Is I think in that moment he was like, oh
It might
no,
have
I'm
clicked.
doing this now.
Like, oh,
Remember
yes.
his first speech before to announce the senators are rapists, the criminals. What?
Infamous now.
It's insane.
His first sentence. He was an asshole from the first sentence.
Pence's ex-chief of staff, Mark Short, has now testified in front of a federal grand jury in that investigation. So we know there
And that was
is
for
an
the-
investigation.
That's for the DOJ, right?
He says he did an interview with ABC after and said that there would have been a, quote, massacre at the Capitol on January 6th if the mob had gotten closer to Pence. Like, he's well aware that Pence would have died, which means Pence was well aware that Pence would have died. And that's another thing. I don't get, he's obviously making some, I'm going to primary Trump moves, go for the vote and get the Republican vote. And so they're both giving a speech today in DC, but he won't just come out and say, you know, he tried to have me, I almost got killed.
Yeah.
He wouldn't call the National Guard. I had to do that. Why doesn't he do that? I think
the truth about this, and people are going to say we're being hyperbolic right now, and we're not. 30 seconds, the mob was 30 seconds behind Pence as they got Pence down the stairs. And that one dude, that one officer, what's the guy's name that directed him?
Oh,
so they were coming
Goodman.
in. Eugene Goodman. The doors, you see him. The guys are coming. The door where Pence is going down the stairs is right there. That's the main chamber. He turns and draws them this way.
And then they go that way.
Yeah.
But we're not being hyperbolic. I'm reading to you exactly what his chief of staff, Mark Short, just said in an interview with ABC.
Right.
We're not saying Pence almost died.
But
his chief of staff that was with him said.
And then the weird part is
they knew.
But then he's downstairs, and here's how weird it must have been. So Mike Pence is the vice president. He's down in the parking garage with a bunch of security around him. There's a riot going on upstairs.
Because we know that because Mike Pence allowed his photographer to go with him.
Right, yeah, because Mike Pence was like, can you this might be my last picture.
Yeah.
So he was collecting records of things.
The weirdest thing to me, and this still really holds true of what was going on, is that Mike Pence refused to get in the car. It was Secret Service. You're supposed to trust him, right? And that he wouldn't get in the car still makes me go, like I don't see Mike Pence as a really insightful guy. I don't see him as I get the vibe. I don't see him as that guy. How fucking scary must it have been for him to go, I know you, dude, but I don't know that guy. I'm not getting in that car. And this is with the Secret Service. So how fucking weird was the dynamics in the Trump administration that the vice president was afraid to get into a car with Secret Service?
Or, you know, it could have been that, you know, people are guessing that he was afraid that they were going to hurt him. Or he became very clear that Trump had mechanized very varied areas of election day and transition of power in case he didn't win or in case this didn't work. He also did this. There were like 12 different things that he was trying. And maybe he just realized that one of those things was to get him away from the Capitol so that he couldn't certify the election.
So let's play that out. I hear that. Let's go your criminal justice mind. So let's play that out. So Pence gets in the car.
Right.
He goes, hey, I have to get back for the certification. And they go, sorry, Mr. Vice President, we're not taking you back. Well, then what? They take him back the next day and he certifies it.
No, because it didn't have to be done.
Supposedly, but it's such a weird, it's like a little kid coming up with, no, you can't do it. You didn't tag it. So basically the rule is you're supposed to announce between a certain time, between 1 and 4 o'clock. They have to certify the election so many days after the election. And Trump's idea, his fucking insanity was, this is fucking insanity. Oh, if we can keep him out for those 3 hours, then I'm president forever.
Well, see, no,
that's
I don't
the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my
because you've
life.
said this several times, is that, and like what I just said, he had several things going on at once,
Right.
all to create chaos. I think that what you've said multiple times is true, that he just needed to get Mike Pence away, hold that off, have these people storm the Capitol. He needed so desperately to get to the Capitol. In the last hearing where they showed that he did nothing, when the White House photographer was still with him in the first 47 minutes or whatever it was, he's still wearing his big heavy wool overcoat in the Oval Office, standing up because he's still trying to go to the Capitol. It was apparently a big fight.
Well, he knew he could have run
needed
it.
to get to the Capitol. And you would think, why was it such a big deal that he gets to the Capitol physically?
During a horrible, violent riot. Why does this guy need to be in the middle of the fucking craziest shit we've ever seen in the Capitol in our history?
Yeah.
Oh, because he was going to run it. That's why.
Because now it's coming out in some people's testimony that he planned to claim martial law.
So this is what I think. So that's what I think. Getting Pence in the car, even if it didn't kill him. Let's say they didn't kill him. But here's the weird part. Pence's Secret Service and Pence thought they were going to kill him. So if they drove away and just held him off, then Trump could have said, the vice president has been kidnapped. Because he's a second in charge, I'm imposing martial law. And they were looking for Nancy Pelosi. So it was such a surreal day. Because do you remember watching it, Ray? We were home. Were you watching it on TV at home? Were you watching it?
No, I think I was here. Wasn't it on?
No, we were home. Were you here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it COVID?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's 20. Yeah, it was the peak of COVID because at the time,
Because we were at
Trump
home
had
in the
not
middle of
instilled
the
any.
day.
There had been no vaccine protocols.
Yeah.
And 4,000 people a day were still dying.
Yeah.
So we were home, and I remember I had that weird hollow feeling, like, what the fuck is going on? Like it was weird to watch. And at any moment, and I kept saying this that day, I'm like, he's going to impose martial law. So what he did was, it's kind of weirdly brilliant. You send a bunch of people to attack the Capitol. That's your people. Then you go, hold on, there's a bunch of people attacking the Capitol. I'm imposing martial law.
Time out.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta take over
That's
here.
not what I meant. Martial law. I'm still president. I'm sorry, what? Shut up. Where's Mike Pence? Who?
Mike Flynn even went on Newsmax in December and discussed the martial law plan on television.
They're so brilliant. They're so funny. Didn't Roger Stone do some shit too? And then
Yes.
Bannon, they're all like, it's going to get crazy on Wednesday, man. It's like, it's almost like these guys they should all be working it like for the WWE. They should not be in probably because Roger Stone is the perfect manager of a wrestler. He's a Batman villain. And same with Bannon. Bannon is a psycho, and they're not smart. They really think they are smart though. That's the weirdest part when you see narcissists who actually believe they're smart, and then one after the other, they told their plan out loud. They say the quiet part out loud. They're pretty obvious in what they're doing, but they still get away with it. This is
Not according to John Bolton. Didn't John Bolton say you got to be really smart to plan a coup? Because I've planned a bunch of them. Like, oh, you're an idiot.
So you're an idiot too. You're part of the group.
You just said it.
By the way, because the world is burning down, this episode brought to you by Solo Stove.
Yay.
Solo Stove, we were just talking the other day. We've got a whole plan. We were sitting outside next to where we have Mr. Titus build a pergola in the backyard.
Yes.
And we were sitting under that with the Solo Stove right there. He went and got wood for it and everything like that. And I was like, when we do take off to go to the cabin, we have to remember we put the Solo Stove in the back of the truck. We take the Solo Stove. We'll always be able to gather wood. We had a whole conversation
we know
about
the
it.
Solo Stove life. And also, the weird thing is that I'm surprised it took this long for a company to come up with something as good as this thing is, because the way they've drilled all the holes through it, the airflow. The one bitch about like when you're working with fire and stuff is like to keep it lit, as we know at the cabin and stuff. We've gotten better at it, but because of the way the air goes, it just keeps working. It was awesome.
It burns more efficiently, so you're not like burning through wood literally as fast as we would in the fireplace. Such little smoke that I think you would be really surprised, because it's a big fire, but there's no smoke and you don't smell like smoke after. We use ours right now as a fire pit in the backyard. I actually bought all the stuff for s'mores because right now s'mores. A few months from now, Armageddon. But Solo Stove transitions with
S'mores
you.
are a tough buy in July though. S'mores are.
It has been a little too hot.
I feel real cozy.
Yeah.
MREs in a couple months.
But yeah, we have
We have
MREs at the cabin.
We have 3 months of MRE at the cabin, so you can come to the cabin.
Good. All right, now I know.
So now
And we'll
we
be
have
able to
2 months.
cook our MREs over the Solo Stove.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wanted some heated up gray slop? Okay. All right. Right now, you can get huge discounts on all fire pits. They have a bunch of different ones. You got to go look. During Solo Stove's summer sale, use promo code Titus at solostove.com for an extra $10 off of that sale. That's solostove.com, promo code Titus for $10 off on top of their incredible summer sale discounts.
I have a hard time imagining you under a pergola around a stove, just relaxing. I always picture him like Clark Griswold at the Grand Canyon.
Man,
yeah, this is great. Let's go.
A bottle of Pinot Noir or a nice Cabernet. I will sit
you're
on
done.
that pergola. I'll be
Good,
just like,
good.
yep.
He sits out there a lot.
I like
And
it.
actually, he uses our hot tub a lot, too. Like, by himself,
She won't get in the hot tub
What?
with me.
he does tweeting.
No, she
It's where
won't
he
get in the
does
hot
some
tub.
of
She's
his
a
best
weird- She'll get
tweeting.
in the hot tub with her sister, but won't get in with me. It's
There
weird.
or the turlet.
No, you're
Because he always goes late at night.
Oh,
He's on a totally
you're peeing in
different
it.
That's what I
schedule.
said
gotcha.
earlier.
Oh,
She
okay.
doesn't like me. I told you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. He like kind of does it. He's like on his own schedule, man. He like really, if if left to your own devices, you would go to sleep at like 3 a.m. every night, right?
After watching every episode of whatever happened to be on, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And so he's on hardcore comedian schedule since the 80s.
I mean, you got to remember, I've been doing it since I was a teenager. So like,
That's when your shift ends.
This is exactly.
Totally.
I'm on Dracula
That's
time.
actually-
I'm always on Dracula
That's
time.
actually what happened when he
What?
when we got drugged and we didn't know we were drugged. And
outside, yeah.
So someone baked some treats for my comedy special.
They were quite good, honestly.
I don't
We just didn't
use
know they were infused.
THC. I can't.
I don't remember this.
It makes me crazy.
We didn't know that Dr. Dre and Snoop had helped her make these.
Yeah. And
It was crazy.
And I can't do it at all. He can. I can't.
I can't do a lot. I do get paranoid. I have
CBD is awesome. THC, no, not for Ray Ray. And so I had these white chocolate delectable baked goods that I thought were so good. I had 3, and he had 1.
I had 2 of the giant brownie ones. So you got
I
the
had the
white
white
chocolate.
chocolate
I had the
thing.
dark ones.
Okay.
And they were really good. And they were kind of gooey inside. I'm like,
You sure they were really good, or you just remember them really
no,
good?
they were really good.
I had a second one. I'm like, and she makes great candy. So I'm like, this is awesome.
So I go, and
Have we
I'm
talked about this
tired.
before?
I don't think so. He goes and gets in the hot tub. It's late at night by himself in the dark.
Because my
And-
wife won't get in the hot tub with me.
Shut up. And are you done? I go upstairs to bed because it's late, and he comes in about half an hour, 45 minutes
About
later.
an hour, maybe an hour. I said that.
And I'm fine. I'm totally fine, which is weird because my tolerance for that stuff is nil because I don't do it.
Yeah.
His tolerance is better. And you come in and say,
The trees are moving.
they're like breathing.
The trees are breathing. I'm sitting outside, and we have these 2 giant, like evergreens, and pine trees, right?
Yeah.
Pine trees, and the leaves, they're really thin, but they were doing this. They were going,
Oh yeah. So you were tripping.
dude, and I'm like, but then again, I don't know why I'm tripping. Like I'm like, what's going on? I didn't have wine.
Yeah, so we have no
I'm
frame
sitting
of
there. I'm
reference for
drinking
it.
cranberry juice and
You're like,
soda
I'm
water.
having a stroke.
And
I
that's
think.
what I thought. I actually went, oh
Yeah.
my god, my something's wrong in my brain. Something's fucking wrong. And because the trees just kept fucking doing it, and I kept thinking, is it windy? And I was like, and then I'm doing weird shit. And
I have no idea.
Now my fingers are waving.
I have no idea. So he finally comes in and I'm in bed and he goes, babe, was there something in that? And I am fine.
She's like, no, not at all.
No, I hadn't even hit me yet.
Dancing around.
I had nothing. I was tired and I looked at you and I said, okay, you know my tolerance. If there were something in those, I would be wrecked. I would be crying. THC has the worst opposite effect on me. It makes me full blown panic and then vomit. And
So she tells me flat out, there was nothing in that. I'm
and
fine.
I kept
So
saying,
I
look at
think
me. Look
I'm
at me.
dying.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I have a brain tumor and I'm fucking dying. That's what's going on now. Oh shit.
Oh, shit.
I need to plan an MRI tomorrow
Yeah.
because what just happened in my head should not be. I am losing my shit.
Later, when I looked back and I thought about that, I remember the panic on your face. Because think about if you got drugged, you didn't know you were drugged.
And then someone said you're
you
not.
start to think you are drugged, and then the person you trust more than anyone else
Who had
goes,
the same thing?
"You're not drugged. Look at me, I'm fine." Because you just looked at me for the longest time, and you were like, "Okay."
Then I'm in trouble.
So you
Then I'm
got in bed.
got in bed and just stared at the ceiling. Like,
this
I'm
is it.
dying. Because by the way, on top of being drugged, so now I know I'm not drugged. I'm dying.
Right.
So before I was like, if someone gave me something, I'm high. I could live with that. I'd still be paranoid, but I could live with it. Now I'm thinking I'm running through all the possible. I get my computer. I'm looking at WebMD, and everything is exactly what I
Symptoms.
have. Are the trees moving? Fuck! Like everything is just. And she's like, "You're fine. You're fine."
I go to sleep. Fine. Fine. Wake up at like
You didn't have anything at all.
nothing.
Wow.
Probably, I think now that God was protecting me because I have a little bit of THC and like what happened at the cabin, I'm vomiting, I'm wrecked, I'm near death. It's bad. And so I went to sleep and I think my body was kind of battening down the hatches like, okay. And I woke up at like 4 a.m. and had to pee and got up to go to the bathroom and tripped and fell. Got up again, banged off the doorway into the bathroom, but still I was sleepy. I was like groggy. go and try and pee.
woke up under a bridge.
Half an hour later, I'm still trying to pee. You know,
She's staying in the bathroom forever. I heard bump, 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 and then she disappeared. And then you get back in bed.
All of a sudden, I'm sitting there and I just go, "Oh no!" Then it hits. Luckily, I think I slept through like
Most
the worst part of it.
But you were so high in the morning.
I couldn't sleep. Panicking, full blown panic. Started emailing the person that sent me those treats. Like, what the fuck is it? And
That
eventually,
person who did something nice for us thought she has never talked to us again.
Eventually, that person said, "I put the label on the ones that were. I put Green Dragon," and I was like,
"What does that mean?"
I thought that was your new company name. I don't know THC code words.
Some lingo.
Yeah, I don't live in the Urban Dictionary. Just tell me, hey dummies,
Street
have
knowledge.
you met us? Hey dummies, hey lightweights, be careful.
And crayon. We would have been like, "Oh, no touchy."
Oh, no touchy bad stuff.
Oh,
Have
my
half of one. Be good.
gosh.
Yeah, it was.
That was a bad
I've
night.
never in my life been that, and I used to smoke a lot of pot when I was, but it was bad pot when I was in high school with my friends.
This is not that.
And this was, and it, all the needles were doing this, and they were all the leaves, and it was just going, and I heard like the whole like every sense was like we're cranked right now. It was insane. It was insane.
By the way, this episode brought to you by Liquid IV, because if that happens to you, you need to hydrate.
Start pounding Liquid IV. Yes, it will help you.
Liquid IV has become such a part of our lives. It's
Yep.
ridiculous. We're actually talking like I'm in full-blown Scotland panic mode, and we're a week out. We're going to be living in another country for a month. We're going to have the dogs with us. It's, travel. It's trying to remember everything you have. On top of, we're going to do shows every night. We're doing them in a different country.
And doesn't like us.
They don't know who we are. They don't, maybe, what if they don't like these jokes? What if they don't get these jokes? My friend told me they use different words for some things. So she got stared at sometimes on jokes that kill here, where they were like,
But if she
what?
got through it, we'll get through it.
She did.
In
anyway,
the first few days, you'll get it.
full panic.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna have some meetings after
we have
shows. Like,
already
what the fuck?
discussed that we have a second suitcase each for supply.
A bug out bag.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Like, and you actually said we're taking bags of Liquid IV, and I was like, oh, I already packed it.
Good.
Because I'm assuming they have it there, right? But do they? I don't know. But we could not do it.
We're
without
such
Liquid IV.
they have a Costco there. We're so arrogant as Americans. I'm sure they have Liquid IV.
It's not that. It's just some brands.
You just measure it differently.
It'll
Like,
be
for example, someone wrote us an email saying that you can't get UE Fits headphones in Canada. So
they'll call it something different.
they'll have another.
It'll be like, hey, it feel better water, whatever it's called.
God, that was try again.
It's great.
There you
it's
go.
great. Did you get your packs of feel better water? You put it in the water. It goes freedom water. We call it. I'm a cat. I'm a Scottish cat. We're already pissing them off now. Anyways, going, let's see what this podcast is like. Fuck this guy.
You were like, stop doing that accent. Stop
doing it. Stop. Someone said that. Someone of the tips of Scotland I was looking at was like, don't do the Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Stop. And I have a problem. We talked about my
Important to have Liquid IV if you're going to do the accent, though.
It is so good.
As you go on that
so you
side
know,
tangent.
I got in the car today. I actually left the house with two of them. I had a apple pie and a lemon lime.
It has made it's become like integrated into our lives. I get a headache yesterday. You're like, did you drink your Liquid IV? After my surgery, because I was on painkillers and stuff like that, and I was dehydrated, my sister every day made me 2 Liquid IV drinks, one in the morning, one at night. She called me last week and she was like, have you been having your Liquid IV? It's like become a thing in my family.
They adopted it too. Yeah, we all of it.
They really did. Yeah.
But so I had something the other day where I was grumpy. I was here and I was kind of like getting pissy, and I was like, what the fuck's wrong with me? And it was because I hadn't, and I thought, I haven't drinking any water today. So,
I've done that.
So,
And you don't realize it.
You just feel shitty, a little shitty. And I went and I got Liquid
Our
IV.
manager's wife got
pounded
COVID. She's in Martha's Vineyard, and I DM'd her yesterday on Instagram and told her to drink Liquid IV.
Yeah.
And so,
Where do
anyway,
they get it?
Clearly, we believe in this product. You're going to get B3, B5, B6, B12, vitamin C, 3 times the electrolytes of those crappy sports drinks that you can get. grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or it's a huge bag. Or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use promo code Titus at checkout. That's 25% off of anything you order, even the bundles. So it makes an awesome deal. When you shop Better Hydration today using promo code Titus at liquidiv.com.
Tell you something, kids. I again, as I always say with the products, I use this every day. I use this every day.
I do too.
It's so good.
I couldn't not. It's
Right.
it's an integral
But also my
part.
workout recovery is better. My workout recovery is fat when I get working out, so I like it. I'm not even trying to sell it. I'm just, this is, we're just talking. So
When is the next January 6th hearing?
I guess they're going to go into September. They're going to go through August because they get all that time off.
August is off?
By the way, don't you think if you're one of the leaders of the country, you shouldn't get all these breaks? They get all these fucking breaks, man. Like, it's stunning. I think they work 160 days out of 360. That's 200
And they
days
get
off.
free healthcare, and they get all
Free
this
healthcare forever, and they get their paycheck forever. Like Madison Cawthorn is going to be paid forever. He was one term, forever.
He is?
Yeah, look it up. They get paid forever. Say, does Congress get paid forever? Yes, once you're in Congress. By the way, any job, if I could vote my own job, like if Hylinder could be like, all right, guys, here's what you're paying me now, and here's the health care I want. It would be like,
No, do members of Congress receive pensions after only one term? A full pension is available to members of Congress who are 62 years of age with 5 years of service.
okay, he only has
50
4
years or older with 20 years of service, or 25 years of service at any age. I thought he didn't meet
so
the
he
threshold.
doesn't get it. Oh, good.
Because I do
Why did
remember
I
people
think
say
that?
get him out before he gets the pension. Because he wasn't in long enough. Thank God.
Thank God.
That was one little victory.
Okay,
that
still,
we
it's a
had.
sweet. I mean, come on, talk about
a sweet deal.
the sweetest job
Yeah, it's a
that
sweet
you could
job.
ever have.
And it's funny, they vote against the health care that they actually
Right,
have.
which is so fucked up. God damn it.
And in order,
By the way,
God.
this should just be on a plaque. Congress, we're so fucked up.
Yeah.
in order to limit their terms or to get rid of that health care, they have to vote on it. So we'll never see a change in that.
But eventually, here's the thing. Eventually, don't we get a bunch of, there's like some 19-year-old kid running for the House of Representatives, and he hit me on Twitter, and he was like, he's a Democrat, and he's like, he's got some good ideas, and I was like, the Grassley's got to die, right? Do they have access to some sort of immortal
Baby
blood
blood.
transfusion
I would not
thing?
want a 19-year-old.
No, I don't either. But I'm just saying that.
At this point, though, they would do a better job, I think.
And also, you can see who in Congress, because AOC. I like her. I think she's smart, but she got really arrogant because she got popular. Fame makes people crazy.
A 19-year-old would
Congress, she was
be
21.
offended the whole time, right?
But do you understand that Congress didn't used to be popular? You didn't know who the fuck was in Congress. You just knew who was Congress. You'd figure out your rep and find it out. Now they're famous, and Matt Gaetz is fucking talking shit. Said that. What did he say about all these women that are protesting against abortion? You know why no one's going to get them pregnant anyway? They're all fat.
Yeah,
he said it out loud, and then they asked him about it. They go, "You think it's offensive?" He goes, "I don't care. Be offended."
They sell merch. They have their own fucking merch.
Have merch. The Holly's got merch. Holly, that was the peak of this thing.
I did love that. Josh Hawley.
Josh Hawley was like, yeah, man, insurrection. And there's video of him hauling ass when they were going. He's running through the.
If you didn't see it, it's video of Josh Hawley running from the mob that he incited.
Yep.
Running past the hallway camera
ass.
full speed. Yeah. And then another of him hustling down the escalators trying to get away from those people in the
pushing
Capitol.
Mike Pence is like, yeah, man.
At first, he's like, yeah, let's get him. Oh,
He's
shit.
like,
But
he's
he
like,
sells-
move, Grassley. He's like, fucking
His
get-
pinned tweet on Twitter is he's selling a mug of himself holding his fist up at the beginning. Yeah. He's selling merch. It's let me just
It's
show
the
you
weirdest
this.
shit.
Because someone signed us up or you signed up because you wanted to see, and I've said this before, but our Titus podcast email. I just want you guys to see this. This is of all the emails that we get. Here they go. 2022 Trump founding. I don't know what that is, but it's a Trump. 2 emails down. Trump rally and meet President Trump. Donald Trump priority access. Text save to this number. Final notice, President Trump has an exclusive impact for you. Donald J. Trump, exclusive invitation. Here's where you can get his Trump rally shirt alert. Trump rally, are you going to enter? FWD Trump gold card.
I'm a big fan of the Titus podcast.
I have not.
Who's sending these?
I have not scrolled yet. This is just these top visible emails.
What I wanted to do, I wanted to get up when he was president. I wanted to get updates, so I went to that. This is an email we barely use.
That's what I was going to say.
And I went
merch.
to see how crazy it was, and we got it. But here's the thing about that. So I don't think Trump's going to run again. I think they're going to indict him. I think something's going to happen. They may not indict him. It may not be for insurrection. It may be for something else, and they may not prosecute him. But he will. But if Congress votes to never have him in there, and I think at this point the Republicans are like, "Fuck this guy. He's just ruining it." We'll get DeSantis. DeSantis scares me more, by the way, because
if you open every email, it's merch. It's an authentic MAGA hat, hand signed by your favorite president.
That's what I'm saying.
It's embarrassing.
But he's not running for president. He's running for money.
Oh, right.
All he's doing now in these rallies, he's asking for donations.
Right.
After the stop the steal thing, $250 million was donated to him. Guess
to
what?
A fund that he said that was going to that didn't
And
exist.
none of it went to pay anybody. He kept it. Guys, you morons. Anybody who you know that is donated to Trump, he has kept the money. He made $250 million because people are stupid. Do you get that? Yeah. And so what he's doing now is he's just continuing.
Yeah, he's grift.
He's just it's a grift. It's a two. Now he has a 2-year grift.
It makes me insane. I just want even stuff like that. Like I always just like to boil things down. Just that alone disqualifies him from being fit for president.
Right.
You can't sell merch. No president.
I don't want president to have.
Merch.
I don't want tchotchkes. I don't want tchotchkes from the guys running
coins.
the country.
They did a coin.
They did a coin.
You can get your name engraved in the Donald Trump wall.
He sells fake gold bricks.
It's
on
like,
his website.
Yes, it says Trump. They're banks.
What the hell?
Yeah.
By the way, if you need to be more comfortable in a very hard world, this episode brought to you by Boll & Branch.
Great sheets.
Boll & Branch sheets, which part of their claim to fame is that 3 presidents have slept on them, and I'm assuming not Donald Trump.
He has Trump sheets. I'm sure he had Trump sheets.
I'm sure that they had fake gold in them.
And the elastic didn't work.
They're rubber, probably. Because he tinkle. Boll & Branch are such incredible sheets because one of the main things I love is that it's 100% organic cotton threads. So,
but also
better for you.
So I travel all the time. I stay in crappy hotels all the time, and they don't have quality sheets. I get home. And A, we have a great mattress, but B, you get it's
And they get better every time you wash them.
Yep,
they get softer. So it's like they're not wearing down, they're getting better, which some products get worse. These get better. Highest quality threads on earth. You get better night's sleep, superior softness. Everybody knows about these apparently because when I went and looked them up, they have over 10,000 reviews, all high reviews.
Do you know how what's so they're average?
So
you know
we were behind.
Do you know how crazy that is? That like that any company's got 10,000 reviews. Like because I like them good enough to actually I'll review them. I mean, it's
we have debated taking them to Edinburgh,
to Scotland. We are going to travel with our
suitcase.
We talked about this last night.
Yeah.
I
you should. Why not? You can fit them.
Well, you don't know how much I'm taking.
Oh,
yeah.
We're staying for a month, so when we go for a weekend, she packs a suitcase to where it's overweight.
You're bringing the hot tub.
So, so when we're going for a month, it's stunning what's coming with us. It's stunning.
And maybe Boll & Branch sheets too.
Let me be clear. She asked, "Will you put the Boll & Branch sheets in your luggage? Because mine's going to be full." She said that yesterday.
And you said, "Yeah."
I said, "Sure, babe, whatever you want."
I've learned annual summer event we talked about has ended, but Boll & Branch extended our code for exclusive access to 20% off through the end of the month with promo code Titus at bollandbranch.com. This is the best offer that they do. For the year before the holidays, you get 20% off. So act now. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND Branch, BOLLAND branch.com. Promo code Titus for 20% off.
You could do like my dad did and use the sheets as the luggage. You could do that.
And we got white.
We really did that.
My
I
dad
am
did
a
that for
fan.
laundry. You're wrapping up.
I'm a fan of bleaching sheets and towels, so we got the white ones.
Yep.
And I read that, I don't know if this is real, but I read on someone that follows me on Twitter had a family member that cleans Airbnbs and got monkeypox. They believe from the sheets from her, because it started on her arms. So if that's a thing, that's another reason why I think we should take them.
You're going to have to burn the sheets.
We'll have Yorkie
After
pox.
you-
We're gonna have Yorkie pox. I don't mind Yorkie pox. I'm sure I already have Yorkie pox from these guys.
Makes you do this a lot. My dermatologist said today that monkeypox, you would know if someone had it because they would have trouble walking in. If they were a full-blown case, he said it is heinously painful.
It kills 10% of the people too.
His nurse, Kathy, asked him, do you think we've had people in here that haven't? And he was like, oh no, we would know. Because she's told
painful,
me
right?
that everyone's coming in now with a pimple or something and they think they have monkeypox.
Well, wait. What are you doing? If you anybody comes and goes, is that monkeypox? Well, first of all, I know what you're doing, you freak.
Yeah.
Who are you hanging out with, you psycho? Because it's transmitted sexually, isn't it?
Yeah, not bisexually.
What are you doing with that arm?
I'm just wondering. So we're hearing that the I don't
like
know.
fisting, right?
No,
And what are you thinking? I wasn't even thinking that. And then you got me. You can change my.
he's been
What are you
alone
doing,
for
weirdo?
a long time.
Bowl and branch sheets. I have some.
All by myself.
So how is monkeypox spread?
Well, there is a problem I know right now in California for the LGBTQ plus community. It's spreading like
LGBTQIEIEIO.
wildfire through that. Wildfire being the operative word in California.
Yep.
But Dr. Ding, who was on here, Dr. Eric Feigelding, he has been posting a lot about how it's airborne. And then I was reading that about someone getting it from touch, so.
That's why, like, on the plane, we're wiping everything down and stuff. Now we get on planes. I'm back. And by the way, COVID's coming back. They actually, the CDC today said that there's going to be like a monkeypox czar, which is the shittiest government name. There is
Okay. Direct contact with the infectious rash, scabs, or bodily fluids. Respiratory secretions during face-to-face contact.
And we are
or
demonetized.
during intimate physical contact. Touching
No,
items.
she's being honest, though.
Oh, here it is. It's true. Touching items such as clothing or linens that previously touched the infectious rash or body fluids.
We're trying to help people not get this.
So we're back to early days of COVID. Hazmat
I'm
suit.
not.
Well, there's
I
only
mean,
3,000 cases. It's not as infectious as COVID.
you're going to get in sheets tomorrow. Yeah. You need to take some sheets with you.
In Toledo, too.
Well,
Damn well monkeypox is hanging out in Toledo.
Does a powerful
Like, where are we
light-
going? Toledo? Why? Because they're
just waiting.
Titus is coming. Come on, Titus.
But in this case, bleach might do it, and a powerful light
Bleach.
might do it.
What, this is Trump's moment.
Right?
I
Come on.
can't even imagine all the hotel rooms I've stayed in my life. That's why my immune system is so badass. Because just imagine the horrible
You've been hit with everything.
disease and goo that I've had to sleep near, or the residue of it, just because of whoever was in the hotel before. I've stayed in beds of 30,000 people. Say, I can't even touch me now. Ew.
It's time we need to start a new career.
I agreed.
The way the
with the
world
hot
is
tub.
going right now, we need,
Ugh. Yeah.
And what next? Well, there were a couple cases of polio that popped up
Yep, polio's
because
coming
people won't get vaccinated. Where was that?
They said it was coming
Was
back.
it India?
Consumption's coming back.
The
I
old
mean,
Scurvy.
Got the
Yeah.
scurvy. Yeah, a lot of pirates coming back.
First polio case in decades reported in the Americas.
Do you know what else is that? Eventually, what's going to happen is, it's what Carlin said.
In New York, in Rockland County, 35 miles north of New York City.
How do you just stumble across polio after we eradicate it?
You stumble.
Yeah, that's after. That's after you have it. You stumble after you get polio. While we're doing polio jokes.
I got polio vaccine, right, to go to school.
Yeah, we all did as kids, yeah.
What's the thing that my mom had?
I have one too.
Is that polio?
A weird round thing. It's
yeah. My mom, it was a vaccination. It left that round, jagged edge circle
TB?
scar.
The TB shot?
Yeah, it was
whatever
a bunch
it
of
is,
stuff.
I didn't get it.
It was a bunch of shit. I remember taking
That's a cigarette burn.
Sugar
from our
cube.
parents.
Kinda looked
I think
like
we did the
it.
sugar cube with polio. I think polio was a sugar cube. Then we did it. Then it was like
Sugar cube.
We had a day at school. I remember I was in five.
They treated
was
you
acid,
like
my man.
Mr. Ed, like a horse.
No, all the kids got sugar cubes because they didn't like the shots.
Really?
I think it was 3rd or 4th grade.
Well, why didn't they think of that
And
earlier?
one day we went in and it was like
COVID with that.
No, we had like vaccination day, and they gave us like we would go chair to chair, and we got like 3 or 4 in one day.
I was
I look back now, like, what if my system had just fucking went batshit and just
the
killed
way we
me?
worry now. I was a Marine brat, so I got all of mine on the Marine base.
Right.
My mom would not be having me, like your dad just let them just put stuff in you at school. Yeah. No, my mom
Did you guys get
was not having
fingerprinted
that.
too? We had a whole day
No.
where everybody. That was.
No.
I remember that. I'm like,
No.
why are we all getting fingerprinted?
We had heart
because the
tests.
principal's office kept getting broken into,
Yeah.
and you were the #1 suspect.
We actually had a beard then too. So
Probably.
It was like season 4th grade. He's like, why am I getting fingerprinted? Because you're
Why
like a
am I
biker
getting
and you're
fingerprinted?
we had heart tests. I remember they did a big heart.
What was that?
Can you imagine? Wait,
What did they do to you? And then I'll tell you if it was really a heart test.
They listened to your heart, the EKG. Oh, well, first of all, they went and listened to everybody. We got kind of this.
Oh, it wasn't
weird,
a sadness test.
No,
Aw.
we got this weird. Yeah, I had to get called back 3 times.
Are you loved?
We went in and they listened to your hearts, and then
Okay.
I had a heart murmur, and I had to go back.
At school?
I got called in again.
Was this for kids whose parents didn't take care of them?
Anxiety.
That's what I think
Because
happened.
all this stuff I did when my parents took me to my primary care physician on base. I'm confused why you had things left undone.
Because in
for
California,
the school to wrap up.
Because in maybe wait.
Right.
Did everyone else go?
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying this. So we had. So you remember this was maybe I was 8 or 9. So this is 1974. And the schools we had through the year, all of us had to go for these health checkup things. And I don't know. And now we don't do that at all. Now we don't even have we had vaccinations, and then we had
your parents are supposed to get that handled.
I have to be honest with you. I didn't go to a doctor growing up. I didn't go to a doctor
That's
until
why they handled it at school.
the first time I can remember going to the doctor, I had the croup, and I had to go into an oxygen tent, and I was in the hospital for 6 days.
Let me guess. That was a program that the Republicans cut.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So instead of doing
I didn't have that though.
There was like a health and fitness kind of thing.
You grew up in a
remember-
southern Republican state. They had already cut it.
No, I remember that before school started, we had to get school supplies. I had to go to the doctor and get my checkup and get my shots, whatever I needed. That was part of pre-planning to
First
go back
deliver
to
the
school
baby,
every
then-
year. Yeah, I don't get why that's very strange.
California was very, very progressive. All the kids had to do it. We all had it.
I remember the presidential fitness thing and
I
the
remember that
sit
too.
and reach.
Yeah.
Do you remember
They
that?
do pull-ups. How many pull-ups can you do? None. No one could do it. Yeah.
Girls didn't do pull-ups. Girls did the hang 10. Do you remember that? And I was, I weighed like 80 pounds. I was 6 feet tall. And I remember holding on for dear life and staring
For 10
Lindsey
seconds?
Brown dead in the eye.
Who
and
won?
And my whole body would be doing this. I'd be vibrating and I would just be staring at her for motivation. That was the girl that put her finger in my cake. And I'd hold on forever. Vengeance.
I remember
That's the
those.
next
That was
special.
such a weird
Vengeance.
I mean, do you remember the
Fuck you, Lindsay.
Yeah. She just mouthing, bitch.
Oh, I'd hang on my little skinny body. I'd be vibrating this hard. That and then we had to do the sit and reach. Remember that? To
Yeah, we
measure
did
on
we
that
did
box.
Push-ups, pull-ups,
Sit
everything.
ups. I don't
Rope climb.
No.
Although
That was a prison camp.
Oh.
You were at.
yeah, you were
Fingerprinted and
fingerprint, rope climb. Then we did shoveling
Bars,
for
right?
hours. We did the 4-hour shovel. No, dude, you were
did, like,
literally
tiny push-ups
yeah.
next to a bed and a toilet. What was
Then we did the interrogation where you got whipping with the whipping. We did the everyone got whipped. Where were you? Where did you
We had to go to
we had to
court.
wear orange suits.
Were you in court?
I had an attorney.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
What school did you?
We had to join a gang at the yard. What was
On the playground, you had to join a gang. What? Were you bad? Were you a bad kid?
No, not at all.
Oh.
I had to wear cleats every day
Why?
because my parents wouldn't buy me shoes. I mean, I had to wear soccer cleats.
You got it. Wait, stop.
It would sound like a horse coming down the
Stop.
hall.
You wore soccer cleats to school?
Ka-clunk, ka-clunk,
Holy
ka-clunk.
Here
Here
comes Jenny Island.
Dude, that's fucked up.
Is that fucked up?
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Were they hand-me-downs?
No, they were his.
No, they were new, but they were like 3 years old. They were definitely too tight too.
But why?
With still mud in them.
Weren't cleats usually more expensive? Like, why cleats?
Because they were like the only things that were still hanging around. Like I guess cleats.
Were they metal? Or-
No, they were like the
Plastic
rubber
ones,
kind,
yeah,
plastic
rubber.
ones.
Yeah, but when you got in a fight,
What parent goes, just fucking wear your cleats? What parent does that? That's the
my
craziest shit ever. I need some shoes. You have cleats, right?
They fit on your feet. Put them on your feet and go.
did you play a sport that you used
Yeah, I
them
played
for?
soccer.
Oh, so that's why, and they just figured that was your pair of shoes.
You got
So-
shoes. These are your shoes. You need something for both. So got the
Dude,
cleats.
My dad made me buy my own school clothes. I had to go buy my own school.
With what money though? How did you?
I earned my birthday
Oh,
money, and then I would go. I worked with. We'd load it. Fuck, man. I don't want to compare horror stories, but
Yeah, you do.
On Saturday, he would go because my sister Shannon from second marriage, the child support was so high. Because Lynn was really smart, and we would go on the weekends to my uncle. My uncle Dwayne had this place where they made portable classrooms, and they had a furnace,
Oh, yeah,
and they
like
literally built girders and shit. So there was iron ore that they would melt down and make girders. So on the
Pretty
weekends,
sure that's toxic.
we would go reload. My dad would drive a skip loader. I'm 8 or 9, and we'd go and we'd load. He'd get the skip loader, it's a giant fucking tractor, and then he would pull it over, and then I had to throw the rocks out and unload it. And so we did that.
Age 8, you were doing that.
So he would give me $10 at the end of the day for doing that, or $5.
But your
whatever.
dad gave you school clothes. Some.
No, I started buying my own. No, period.
None?
I started.
It wasn't
buying,
supplemental.
No, I had to buy my own school. I remember the first time I did it, I was 8 years old. I had to buy my own school clothes. I had to use my own birthday money because he wanted to teach me that I had to actually pay for
Not
my own shit.
rely on your parents
Not rely.
to
Yeah,
care for
I had
you.
to buy.
when you're
my first
a
bike.
minor?
I bought my Huffy motocross bike. I had to
Sweet.
pay for it myself, $64, $64.99, and I paid for it myself.
I had a Huffy.
Yeah.
My brother had a mongoose.
Oh, that was a shit.
man,
that was a shit.
That's
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah,
That's
whoa,
rich
man,
people had mongoose.
Wow, braggart. Jesus.
I don't even know what that means,
Cocky.
but I just remember
I
that.
had a bike with a girl's frame on it.
I had a giant bike with 8 hangers. I had a girl's bike with
Did it
giant.
have the ribbons?
Yeah,
Big old pink banana seat.
Yeah. I had the same thing. I had a full size girl's bike.
Why?
Yeah,
But it didn't have a seat. Didn't have a seat.
but had a
and so
post.
it had a post, and we were jumping, and I'm a dumb kid, so we built ramps, and I would jump it.
How would you
And-
ride?
Well, let me tell you this. I was very careful for a while, and then I got cocky, and at one point,
There was
if
nothing
you notice,
there?
you'll just look at my ass one day, and you'll see there's a half moon cut in my ass. There's
You
a
have
scar.
2 assholes now.
That's what my dad said. Which house did he poop out? Doesn't matter.
You
So I have a crescent moon on my ass where because I didn't want
Oh,
a
you still
second
have a
asshole.
scar?
I didn't want a second asshole, so I jumped and I knew it was going bad, and I moved my ass to the side, and the post.
why did
and I
you
was
guys
bleeding
have girls' bikes?
because we were poor.
Yes,
Thank
because they were
you.
cheaper and
and then people would just abandon them. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You find
Our parents didn't just go, "What kind of bike you want?" No one ever said, "What do you want?" No one ever said that to us. No one ever said,
What
would
about
you?"
on your Christmas
what-
list? No.
Christmas list.
Christmas list.
My dad hated Christmas. There's no Christmas list. I'd get my dad some shit. I'd work my ass off, get him something. And
Trash bag, whoever it fits.
I did a bit. Yep, that was his thing. He'd open it. He goes, "Why'd you get me this?" That was my Christmas growing up. That's why.
You said that to me a couple times.
Yeah,
early on.
Yeah, not anymore. Now I lie better.
The ukulele.
The ukulele. Why'd you get me this? My dad would, and he hated Christmas. God, he hated. We've talked about this. He hated decorations and he hated the thing. And
was the garbage bag Christmas specific?
Oh, it was hefty.
But was that a like regular occurrence or was that Christmas morning garbage bag? It was for Christmas.
His dad would show up and go, just open these and whatever fits you wear that.
Oh, it would be one bag.
Right.
For all 6 kids to reach.
But that's Christmas? But it's Christmas?
That's awesome.
Okay.
That's
so
Christmas.
he at least observed Christmas.
Oh, he knew about the day.
Okay.
Got to sit home and drink. Yes.
That's, our dad's fucking bare
Was your dad a
fucking
drinker
minimum dad.
too?
Not
Bare
even
minimum.
like oh God. Oh.
Bare minimum.
He drank a lot.
We built a custom tap in the laundry room that I had to serve him and go. He would be like, "Kenny, get me a beer."
Give me another. All right, give me a beer. Give
what
me a
did
beer.
it connect to?
To the refrigerator in the garage. So we just
Was it a keg?
like an actual real
He
real size
kept a
keg, not a half
keg
keg.
in his own house
The refrigerator for the beer was better than the refrigerator in the house.
Yeah,
for the kids' food.
So the beer was ice cold, but also he got a keg of beer and gave his kids Christmas presents in hefty bags.
One hefty bag. One bag.
You guys dig through this. Hey, fight.
shit.
5 minutes.
What did your dad die of?
Drinking.
Really?
Yeah, he
Cirrhosis?
He had liver cancer.
From drinking.
From drinking.
So he
Yeah.
did drink. So your dads both drank
Yeah,
a lot.
that's why we get along so well. Like sometimes you're not here and we're just like, hey, remember the time our dad stabbed us? Yeah, my dad stabbed you and stabbed me. Yeah.
At what age did you get stabbed?
I remember when I had that Huffy and over the years, because I never got another bike. So when I started, it was plastic. It was the original. I had a Huffy. It had it was the first motocross bikes, and they were not great. And I raced BMX for a little while.
No
on that
shit.
bike. Yeah. I had trophies from it, but on that
That's
shitty
cool
bike.
as hell.
Well, then Mongoose came out, and then it was over. So then I made custom bikes out of it, and I just took this one frame, and over the years, I redid this bike like 10 times, like I did with cars. And I never forget my dad. One time I pinstriped, I painted it black, pinstriped the whole thing. I took it apart down to the frame, and my dad came home, and I thought it was beautiful. And again, fuck are you doing? Why'd you waste all this fucking tape? Is that all my pinstriping tape? It was just like, we lived in a different world. Pretty girl who actually everybody loved.
I think your parents are supposed to love you. I don't think that's like a
Well, I find you're the exception, which is weird.
which is weird. I'm confused by this conversation.
I know, we're not. You know? If anything, sometimes I just feel like, oh, thank God, I got a brother.
Yes.
I got a brother.
We're okay. We're doing okay.
So you were in cleats on a girl's bike.
Yeah.
No wonder you married a gay woman.
Right. I didn't see the signs. It's like she looked at me. I guess
we had to fight. We had to fight to have Christmas. We had to fight to have Christmas.
Oh no, Christmas was my mom's favorite time of year.
Dad hated it. We brought a tree in the house when I was older. I was a teenager, and he came home, and he was so fucking angry. He was so mad that was a fucking tree, needles and blah blah blah. You know, and we're like, joy to get this fucking thing out of my, the Lord is come. God damn, I'm not buying you kid shit. Let earth receive.
My dad
let every heart. What the fuck? Why did you give me this shit? Prepare him. Just children crying in the back singing to the world. I don't know why I'm laughing because as I hear it, it's painful. I get it. It's fucking painful.
It's terrible. Both of you. You wore cleats.
Yeah.
You'd be the weird kid.
It was loud. Like I couldn't
I
couldn't hide it. You can't just it looks
sneak.
bad.
You can't sneak. You're not sneaking. You're gonna be the weird
Why do
kid.
your shoes sound so loud and different?
And why are you sliding everywhere? Why are you?
But I'm really fast at recess. Okay.
He was never the queer that got smeared because we played Smear the Queer. That's what they called it.
Oh yeah.
Kill the pill, smear the queer.
What was that game?
It was just basically a bunch of boys. We get a football or something, and you go recess. We had 15 minutes recess, and someone would grab the ball, and then 30 guys would chase him and tackle him until to hurt him, and then he'd dump the ball, and then someone else would pick dumb enough to pick it up, and pick it up, and then we'd attack that kid.
Yeah, we didn't call it that.
And always
we had that game too.
The fast kids would grab the ball, and they would,
We had dodgeball. We did that, which I don't
That's
think
not
kids
allowed
are
anymore.
allowed to play. I was gonna say, I bet, because it was brutal. It was brutal.
You can shoot, bring a gun, but we can't play dodgeball.
Yeah, you can bring guns to school. We can't yet.
Dodgeball would teach you humility real quick.
Yeah.
I was tall. I was
agility.
the tallest, but I was
Gangly, couldn't move that fast.
Not super coordinated.
Big
my
target.
perm gave me a perfect target on top of my head, and they aimed for it. Oh,
It was weird. I remember dodgeball, and you'd see the mean kids. There was
Yes.
a joy.
Yes.
There was just such a joy in it. And I was always like, I don't want to hit him in the face. I don't want to hit him in the face. I don't want to get hit in the face. That's why I always related it to me. I've been hit in the face. I don't want to get hit in the face.
yeah.
And you see those bully kids be like, and you're like, you're a criminal. You're not a good person.
You need to be fingerprinted.
Yeah.
This guy needs to be. Get that guy.
You got fingerprinted.
By the way, if you want to see Titus live, come and see us in Edinburgh, because he's at 6 p.m. I'm at 7:55. If you only like him, that's also fine. You can watch him at 6 p.m. Then come watch him watch me
Because I'm
at
going to be the one notes.
7:55. If you want to see what he looks like in his natural habitat, watching me do a show, I'm at 7:55. I'm in the drawing room. He is in the studio 2, both part of the assembly.
And before we wrap it up, we go right now to our roving reporter, Ken Hyland, with
Cleats.
Hyland's Fun Facts.
Here he comes on his girl's bike. Shing, 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 shing.
At least my balls aren't hurting.
By the way, and this
This
weird
is
thing
room.
is that, like, that's one of those fucked up things. Like, when I wear my pants my mom had made with these other pieces of denim to fill the holes in my jeans.
Yeah.
You go to school and you know you're the fucking weird kid. You're the
Yeah.
fucking weird kid.
But the kid that's loud in the hall.
You can hear Kenny coming down the hallway.
Did you tried to walk quietly,
Yeah, I
didn't
tried
you?
to like change my gait.
Oh,
change
so now
my
you're
stance.
walking like Mr. Bean.
Yeah, like I'm wearing tap
So
shoes.
now you're making weird noises and looking weird. Oh my God.
Poor
Oh,
Kenny
man.
Hyland.
So, fun fact.
Uh-huh.
This one's for Ray.
Okay.
All right. What movie was originally sold, the screenplay, the story, for $1? What major sci-fi franchise?
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
Which is her worst. Sci-fi is her
I hate
worst.
sci-fi.
She hates sci-fi.
more than anything. It's a
But
franchise.
is it
Star
it's
Trek.
a franchise and a giant one.
And a big one.
Star Trek.
No.
Wars. Star Wars.
Nope, I got it.
I
think.
Those are the only two
I
sci-fi
know.
things I know.
Alien.
Oh, close.
Oh.
Kind of.
Keep
Close Encounters.
guessing.
No,
It has to be a franchise.
All right.
Alien.
I will give it up.
Okay.
Terminator.
For a buck.
He sold it
Cameron
for
sold it
$1.
for $1.
Because
He
he
got to
wanted
hold
to
the-
direct it.
And he got to hold on the merchandising rights.
I think that was George Lucas, but maybe.
Yeah, no. I would take George. That's what I'm saying is that we know George Lucas
Yes.
did that, and that's where the money is.
And that's
of
a
course, even
smart
at
way.
that point, they were like, "Fuck that." George Lucas raped us. We hold on to the
Yes.
merchandising. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Do me a favor. Go to ChristopherTitus.com on the website. Check all the dates where we're going to be at September, October, November. Also, when we get back from Scotland, also go to Christopher Titus TV. Subscribe to the channel. We are putting up content all the time. That's all we do, really. And thanks for watching, listening, and thanks again for supporting the podcast. I appreciate it. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray, and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There could be anyone.